What if I told you that giving up sex after 60 doesn't just affect your love life, it could quietly be shortening your lifespan? I'm Thomas G. Cropley, a leading urologist and men's health expert with over 60,000 patient consultations and decades of clinical research in aging and intimacy. Most people believe sex naturally fades with age, like a phase you leave behind. But what if that belief is silently harming your heart, your brain, even your immune system? In this video, I'll reveal the 10 surprising consequences of lost intimacy after 60 and how reclaiming it can restore your health, confidence, and connection. And don't miss point number 7. It's the one nobody talks about, yet it may be the key to protecting your body from serious illness. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell, so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. So let's begin where the damage first takes root. Quietly, invisibly, inside the very organ that keeps you alive, your heart. 1. Your heart health suffers. It might surprise you to learn that your heart, not just your emotions, but your actual physical heart, relies on more than diet and medication to stay strong as you age. Regular sexual activity, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, acts like a gentle cardio workout. It increases blood circulation, lowers blood pressure, and helps maintain the elasticity of your arteries. In fact, studies show that seniors who remain sexually active tend to have fewer heart-related complications. It's not about intensity or frequency. It's about consistency and connection. When intimacy fades, the body loses one of its most natural ways to stay vital. Without this form of activity, the heart can become more susceptible to stress, inflammation, and long-term disease. Imagine skipping your daily walk or ignoring your medication. Letting go of sexual health can carry just as serious consequences. Many seniors don't realize that the heart benefits from closeness, touch, and physical affection just as much as it does from exercise or rest. The message is clear. Nurturing intimacy is nurturing your heart. But the heart isn't the only part of your body that benefits. What if I told you that giving up sex could also accelerate physical decline in ways you never expected? 2. Muscles and joints lose vitality. When we think about staying physically strong in old age, most of us picture gym workouts or walking routines. But what if one of the most overlooked ways to maintain muscle tone and joint flexibility is through regular sexual activity? Intimacy naturally engages multiple muscle groups, encourages movement, and even helps improve balance and coordination. For seniors, this kind of physical engagement can be both enjoyable and incredibly beneficial. Without it, muscles begin to weaken more quickly, joints become stiffer, and overall mobility starts to decline. It's a quiet shift, one you may not notice right away. But over time, your body responds to a lack of stimulation with reduced strength and a greater risk of injury. What's more, the confidence that comes from feeling physically capable often stems from regular movement, including the kind that happens in the bedroom. Losing that connection can lead to a more sedentary lifestyle, creating a cycle that's hard to break. And while this may already sound surprising, wait until you discover how sex, or the absence of it, directly affects the sharpness of your mind and your ability to remember the simplest things. The next insight might just change how you think about brain health forever. 3. Your brain takes a hit. Most people don't associate sex with brain health, but the connection is powerful, especially as we age. During sexual activity, the brain releases chemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. These aren't just feel-good hormones, they play a vital role in improving mood, reducing stress, and enhancing memory and cognitive function. For seniors, staying mentally sharp becomes more important than ever, and regular intimacy can help support those brain functions naturally. On the other hand, when sex disappears from your life, the brain misses out on these crucial neurological benefits. Over time, this can lead to increased anxiety, depression, and even early cognitive decline. Emotional intimacy and physical connection keep neural pathways active and engaged, helping your brain stay responsive and resilient. Just like a muscle, your brain needs stimulation to stay strong, and intimacy is one of the most natural and enjoyable forms of mental exercise you can experience. Neglecting this part of your life doesn't just affect your body, it quietly robs your mind of the spark that makes you feel fully alive. But beyond memory and mood, there's something even deeper at risk. Your ability to feel emotionally connected and truly seen by your partner. And that, as you'll soon find out, can have profound consequences. 4. Emotional intimacy begins to fade. As we grow older, emotional connection becomes even more essential. But without physical intimacy, that bond can quietly weaken. Sex is not just a physical act. It's a deep expression of affection, trust, and vulnerability. When that connection fades, couples often begin to feel more like roommates than romantic partners. Conversations become routine. Affection grows scarce. The spark that once made you feel wanted, seen, and deeply loved slowly dims. For many seniors, the absence of intimacy leads to feelings of loneliness, even within a committed relationship. And loneliness is more than an emotion. It's been linked to real health issues like depression, increased blood pressure, and a weakened immune system. Emotional intimacy thrives on small gestures, touch, eye contact, closeness. And sex is one of the most powerful ways to maintain that sense of closeness. Letting go of it means letting go of one of the strongest emotional anchors in your relationship. And yet, many don't realize what's missing until the distance has already taken hold. But what if restoring intimacy didn't just reconnect you emotionally, but also helped you sleep better, deeper, and more peacefully than you have in years? The next truth may surprise you and change your nightly routine. 5. Sleep becomes a struggle. As we age, quality sleep becomes harder to come by. But few people realize how closely sleep and sexual activity are connected. After sexual release, your body naturally produces prolactin, a hormone that promotes relaxation and makes it easier to fall asleep. At the same time, oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, is released, reducing stress and anxiety, two of the biggest culprits behind restless nights. For many older adults, sleep issues are treated with medication, but the solution might be far more natural and enjoyable. When intimacy disappears, these calming chemical reactions disappear with it, leaving the body tense and the mind overactive. If you've been tossing and turning, struggling to stay asleep, or waking up exhausted, a missing ingredient could be the loss of connection and physical closeness. And this isn't just about better sleep. Restorative sleep supports memory, mood, energy, and overall health. In other words, the lack of sexual activity can disrupt far more than your bedtime routine. But the real issue goes even deeper. When physical intimacy fades, so does something far more personal: your confidence, your self-image, and your belief that you're still vibrant and desirable. What happens next may affect how you see yourself entirely. 6. Self-esteem and confidence decline. Aging can take a toll on how we view ourselves, but nothing impacts confidence more quietly than the loss of physical intimacy. When you're no longer touched, desired, or engaged in sexual connection, it's easy to start feeling invisible. Over time, many seniors begin to believe that their best years are behind them, that being attractive, wanted, or sexually alive is something for the young, but that belief is a lie. Physical intimacy sends powerful emotional signals that affirm your worth, your vitality, and your ability to give and receive love. Without it, self-doubt creeps in. You may start to avoid mirrors, disconnect from your partner, or stop expressing affection altogether, not because you don't care, but because you no longer feel desirable. Intimacy, no matter how gentle or infrequent, reminds you that you're still here, still beautiful, and still capable of deep connection. Reclaiming this part of yourself often restores confidence in ways that ripple into every area of life: your posture, your smile, your outlook. But while low self-esteem affects how you feel, the impact of lost intimacy goes even further. It can quietly weaken your body's natural defense. What happens next might just surprise you. 7. Your immune system weakens. Most people think of vitamins, exercise, or handwashing when it comes to boosting immunity, but few realize that sex plays a surprising role in keeping your immune system strong, especially in later years. Regular sexual activity has been linked to higher levels of immunoglobulin A, IgA, a critical antibody that helps defend your body against colds, infections, and other illnesses. It also supports balanced hormone levels, reduces inflammation, and promotes overall cellular health. Without the hormonal and neurological responses triggered by intimacy, the immune system can become sluggish, making it harder for your body to fight off common viruses and recover quickly. This decline isn't immediate. It happens slowly, over time, often without you noticing. One day you're catching more colds than usual, or feeling run down without explanation. Restoring a healthy sex life doesn't just uplift your spirit. It strengthens your physical defenses from the inside out. It's one of nature's most enjoyable forms of preventive medicine. But if you think the effects of lost intimacy stop at the immune system, think again. There's another consequence that strikes deep and silently, and it has everything to do with how your body and mind handle stress. You'll want to hear this. 8. Stress and anxiety increase. As we age, the sources of stress may change, but the toll it takes on the body and mind only grows heavier. What many don't realize is that sexual intimacy is one of the most effective natural stress relievers available. During sex, the body releases a powerful combination of hormones, dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin, that actively reduce anxiety, calm the nervous system, and create a lasting sense of emotional balance. These hormones act as a built-in mood stabilizer, helping to ease tension and promote a sense of safety and connection. When intimacy fades, so does this natural coping mechanism. Over time, stress builds, sleep suffers, and small worries begin to feel overwhelming. Without that physical outlet, anxiety may show up as restlessness, irritability, or even physical symptoms like headaches and muscle tension. The absence of intimacy doesn't just leave a gap in your relationship, it removes one of your body's most powerful tools for mental and emotional resilience. But what if the impact of a fading sex life goes even further, quietly affecting your brain's sharpness, memory, and focus? What you learn next may completely change how you think about aging and mental clarity. 9. Relationships become more fragile. One of the quietest consequences of lost intimacy is its impact on your relationship. Over time, when physical connection fades, emotional distance often follows. Couples who once shared closeness, warmth, and affection can slowly grow apart, not because they no longer love each other, but because they stop expressing that love in the ways that matter most. Sexual intimacy is more than a physical act, it's a language of trust, vulnerability, and emotional bonding. Without it, even the strongest partnerships can begin to feel flat or distant. The laughter, playfulness, and spontaneous moments that once brought joy can be replaced by silence or routine. Communication may suffer, and both partners can begin to feel neglected or undesired even if the love is still there. Intimacy is the glue that helps keep relationships vibrant and emotionally fulfilling no matter how many decades have passed. Letting go of that connection doesn't just affect your body, it reshapes the entire dynamic of your relationship. But as serious as that may sound, there's still one more layer to consider, something even more personal. What if your own body begins to forget how to function sexually at all? What happens next is often the most difficult part. 10. The body forgets, use it or lose it. As uncomfortable as it may be to admit, the human body is designed to respond to use. Just like muscles weaken when we stop exercising, sexual function also begins to fade when it's no longer activated. For men, this may show up as decreased erectile function or longer arousal times. For women, it can mean increased vaginal dryness, discomfort, and a loss of natural elasticity. These changes don't happen overnight, they happen slowly, subtly, until one day, physical intimacy feels more difficult than desirable. This creates a cycle. Discomfort leads to avoidance, and avoidance leads to further decline. But here's the truth, your body is trying to tell you. Staying sexually active helps preserve function. It keeps blood flowing, tissues healthy, and the nervous system responsive. Even gentle forms of intimacy can help the body remember what it's capable of. Ignoring this need may seem harmless at first, but over time, it can make regaining comfort and confidence far more difficult. But even if your body adapts, your mindset plays an equally powerful role in shaping your experience. What if the most important sexual organ isn't what you think? The next truth reveals everything. What you can do, starting today. No matter your age or how long it's been, reclaiming intimacy is absolutely possible, and it can begin today. The first and most important step is communication. Talk openly with your partner about how you feel, what you miss, and what you'd like to rebuild together. Honesty and vulnerability lay the foundation for real reconnection. If you're facing physical challenges, don't hesitate to speak with your doctor. There are solutions for common issues like dryness, low libido, or erectile dysfunction, many of which are simple and effective. Start small. Physical touch, cuddling, hand-holding, and gentle affection all count. These small moments of connection often lead to deeper closeness and renewed intimacy. If you're single, don't underestimate the value of self-connection. Exploring your own needs and comfort can keep your body and mind in tune. Stay open-minded and curious. Try new things, approach intimacy with patience, and most of all, give yourself permission to enjoy. You haven't aged out of desire, you've just been waiting for the right moment to rediscover it. That moment is now. Reconnection doesn't require perfection, only the willingness to begin again, one touch, one conversation, one shared moment at a time. The truth about aging and intimacy. Aging is often painted as a slow surrender, a quiet fading of passions, desires, and connections. Society tells us that intimacy belongs to the young, that romance has an expiration date, and that after a certain age, sex becomes unnecessary or even inappropriate. But nothing could be further from the truth. The reality is this. Intimacy in later life is not only possible, it is essential. It's not about trying to relive your 20s. It's about preserving the most human parts of yourself, connection, affection, touch, desire, and allowing them to evolve with grace, depth, and purpose. Intimacy in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s doesn't need to look the same as it once did to be meaningful. In fact, it often becomes richer, more emotionally grounded, and profoundly healing. Losing physical connection doesn't just affect your romantic life. It sends ripples through every corner of your well-being. Your heart grows more vulnerable without regular affection. Your muscles lose strength, your joints stiffen, and your brain misses out on the powerful chemicals that boost mood, memory, and mental clarity. Your sleep becomes shallower, your confidence begins to erode, and your immune system quietly weakens. Over time, you may start to feel less seen, less vibrant, less alive. But here's the most important truth of all. It's never too late to change that. Whether you're in a relationship or navigating life solo, you can begin again. Rebuilding intimacy doesn't start with perfection. It starts with presence. A hand held, a quiet conversation, a willingness to be open, a moment of shared laughter. These are not small things. They are the fabric of vitality. They are what remind you that you're still here, still capable of love, joy, closeness, and connection. If you're in a long-term relationship, begin with honesty. Talk to your partner not just about the physical but about how you feel emotionally. Express your desire to reconnect. You'd be surprised how many couples are silently yearning for the same thing but don't know how to start the conversation. Seek professional support if needed. There are solutions for erectile dysfunction, low libido, and vaginal dryness that are simple, effective, and life-changing. If you're single, don't assume that intimacy is out of reach. Connection doesn't start with someone else. It begins with how you treat yourself. Practice self-care. Explore your own body. Learn what brings you comfort, peace, and pleasure. Rediscover the joy of touch, even if it begins alone. Intimacy is more than sex. It's a state of connection between body, mind, and soul. More than anything, reject the outdated idea that aging equals isolation. You haven't aged out of intimacy. You haven't missed your chance. In fact, you might be standing at the beginning of the most meaningful, soulful connection of your life, if you allow yourself to embrace it. Remember, your body still responds to love. Your heart still longs for closeness. Your mind still flourishes with affection. These needs don't vanish with age. They deepen. So instead of retreating, lean in. Choose to see intimacy not as something you've lost but as something waiting to be rediscovered. Nourish your relationships. Listen to your body. Honor your desires. And know that every moment of affection, however small, is a step toward greater health, connection, and wholeness. You are still worthy of love. You are still worthy of touch. You are still worthy of being desired, not despite your age, but because of everything your years have taught you about what intimacy truly means. The most fulfilling chapter of your life may not be behind you. It may be right in front of you. And it begins with one choice, to reach for connection, starting now. If this message spoke to you, even in a small way, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone you care about. Leave a comment below and tell me what intimacy means to you today. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more life-changing insights made just for you. Because aging doesn't mean the end. It means it's time to start living more fully than ever before.